Anthony Crimmins here. Stickstar Productions, THSLL State Championship Final Four. ESD Eagles versus the Scots of Highland Park. I'll be joined here promptly by Mike Brand, head coach, Texas State Bobcats. Beautiful day here in a little place we like to call Friendswood, Texas. Had the opportunity to watch two D2 semifinals take place already today. First, we saw Keller defeat McKinney, and then Flower Mound just defeated Green Hill in two quality contests. These two teams played earlier this year. ESD was able to outlast the Scots, come back from behind, and a massive win. We're really excited to watch this game. Tons of offensive talent on both sides of the field, defensive talent as well. For the Eagles in cage, we got Charlie Sykes, number 44, All-State sophomore. For Highland Park, we've got sophomore Colby Canese, another quality player. Down at close for ESD, Cole Johnson, Gab Gonsalves, Foster Huggins. Foster Huggins heading to Loyola University. Down at defense for HP, Cole Logden, Remy Kell, and Carson Crow, I believe. And just like that, we're off like a herd of turtles. Sam Romano with the first ground ball. He possesses, carries down the alley, guarded by William Stowe. Forces it early in the possession, tries to get underneath. Back check. HP looks to clear. Remy Kell moves the ball to Robert Mankey. Robert Mankey heading to Harvard. He's going to go at this right here on Rooney, carry down the alley. Here's Ben Kelly applying pressure from behind. Gab Gonsalves on number 30. That's Harrison Scott. Harrison Scott moves the ball over to Carter McDade over the top. McDade to Reisenbickler. Reisenbickler to Kevin Ken. Kevin Ken guarded by Joseph Rooney. Little pump slide. They look inside to Grayson Miller. Turned away by Charlie Sykes. One save. Good, nice big save early on for Charlie Sykes. Get the ball back through X again. Number 30, Harrison Scott attacking. Carter McDade. This is the junior midfield group. They're now the number ones with all the injuries to the number one group, which was Hitzelberger and Mankey and Marlowe. There's an inside look. Nothing there. Bang it through X. Attack the backside to McDade. McDade hitch and go. Beats his man top side. Looks inside. Nice check there by Foster Huggins. Foster Huggins looks upfield. Tries to make that over the shoulder pass. Dispossessed. Kevin Ken carries the ball back into the zone. This is a second chance opportunity now for the Scotties. Swing the ball over to Hugo Reisenbickler. Reisenbickler guarded by Ben Kelly. And they throw the ball out of bounds. ESD ball. ESD is going to need to do a good job of clearing the ball the first time. Here's Charlie Sykes with the ball. Young sophomore, All-State. Moves the ball up to Preston Crow. Crow looks to carry. Gets to the edge. Lowers his head. Gets a little harm. Here we go. He looks in. Draws. Nice stroke. Let's see what HP is going to do on defense. They are shutting Romano with Mankey. And they've got a long stick up on Nakai. There's a double being sent to to Richie Loftus. And just like that, we're back. Highland Park settles into this offensive possession. We've got Coach Brand back with us.
Under 9 minutes remaining here in the first quarter of our first Division I THSLL semifinal. No points on the board so far. Definitely a louder contingency here. The fans are a little bit more spirited than the D2 crowds were.
I think it's a function of those rattlers that they've got.
They create more noise. They create more decibels.
Yes, it's an annoying kind of noise.
Yeah.
But
it's like it's like you play lacrosse with those guys, the guys that you hate on the other team, but you would love them if they were on your own team.
That's right. They're cheering hard, those fans out there. ESD settling into the offensive possession.
Definitely going to see a lot more ball movement in these two games than we did in the first two. These players are known for playing team lacrosse and playing skilled lacrosse and being a little bit more disciplined. Not to take away anything from the T2 guys. They have that league has improved dramatically every year. These are the kids that maybe started a little bit earlier or put a little more hours in, but there you see ESD with a good look.
Here's Richie Loftus carrying over the top. Big double comes from behind. William Stowe. Richie Loftus quit moving his feet on that one. Fitz moves it over to Nakai. They're still looking to shut with, they're still shutting Sam Romano off, and this is a good matchup. Nakai Montgomery on Parker Alexander. Just like that, ESD up 1-0. Coach, what'd you see out of Nakai Montgomery right there?
Nakai Montgomery is probably one of the more, and I don't know if I have a word to describe it, but he seems to be able to drift in between dodging and just kind of bouncing outside. And defenders are so confused as to how to approach him that he creates just great angles to shoot from. And he's a freshman.
One of the most dynamic freshmen in the history of Texas high school lacrosse. That's a moving pick. This is Mankey carrying down the alley. This is what Mankey loves to do. Rope off the pipe. Oh, great GB there by Remy Kell. Highland Park now looking to settle in. Number 6, Crawford Thompson with the ball. Moves it over the top to Kevin Ken. This is the number 1 midfield line composed of solely juniors. Kevin Ken, Carter McDade, Hugo Reisenbichler. These guys drive the bus in terms of offensive production right now for HP. Grayson Miller adding tons of value down there at attack. They look to move it inside. Picked off by Cole Johnson. And now ESD looks to clear the ball the right way.
Just seems like every motion these two teams take are a little bit more, I don't know if you want to say drilled or just a little bit more natural for them. They don't over-dodge, whereas get into trouble as much. They certainly do it, but they do a good job of moving the ball when pressure is applied.
They have to play, obviously there's quality teams at the D2 level, but they have to consistently play at a higher level to reach this point of the season. To get here, ESD had to defeat a talented Strake team, an Elder Strake team, and an Austin squad. Here's Will Stroud. So something we haven't seen a lot is Jack Berry with the ball behind. Here's Richie Loftus, guarded by Cole Ogden. And then the Scots had to defeat Westlake in the Central Super Regional. Here's Loftus carrying to the left, moving the ball to Asher Wabrick, I believe. Yep. Wabrick carries. Early on, we're seeing ESD get into their second group, especially at the midfield unit. You see Stroud, Derek Gibson, and Asher Wabrick. You've got Fitz with Loftus and Barry. Here's a nice little ball side pick for Stroud. Stroud being guarded by the highly touted freshman recruit to UNC, Parker Alexander.
Obvious push in the back, I thought there, not called. There they do call it, excuse me.
That was either called or the ball just went out. Ball never lies. ESD ball. In a game of this magnitude, Coach, what are you looking to do on the offensive side of the field early in the game?
I think we talked about it in the last two games is to, as they score, to set a presence right away, and they've done that.
That was Preston Crow, number 10, getting on the board, turning the corner, sticking it top left. 2 early goals for ESD.
Anthony, like I was saying, it's important to get a great start. It can set the tone for the rest of the game. It can take a lot of your anxiety out early because you go up with an early lead, and they've obviously done that so far with a 2-0 lead. Although Green Hill had a 2-0 lead last game as well.
There's Ben Kelly. A little bit of a long stick lever pass. Here's Nakai Montgomery. Unbelievable freshman guarded by Robert Mankey, number 27. Robert Mankey is heading to Harvard next year. He's a very talented player. And just right here, there's Loftus. He's heading to Dartmouth. Big, solid ball carrier. Maybe with a nonchalant decision with the ball. And now HP looks to clear it, and they throw the ball over the mountains. Out of bounds.
Colby Knies with the pickoff.
Yep, Colby Knies, sophomore. Tell us what you know about Colby Knies, Coach.
Colby Knies is a very mature goalie for his age and is a very good ball stopper. And his confidence, like I said, his maturity has shown all season, and it's I actually had a chance to coach him last summer, and he did a great job at a camp I was at, but he's an old soul, if you will.
Colby Knies stepping into some pretty big shoes for Matthew Meters this year. Matthew Meters, state champion for Highland Park. Colby Knies has answered the call.
Little BTB there by Jack Bear.
If you are tuning in to this live stream broadcast, shoot us a note at StickStarLax. I'm Anthony Crimmins, and this is
Mike J. Brand. You can tweet at me as well. We'd like to hear what you think about any of today's action.
Absolutely. Tweet at us early and often. We're all about engaging the crowd. The crowd is engaged here today. 2:19 left in the first quarter. HP down 2-0 to ESD. ESD with early goals by Nakai Montgomery and Preston Crow. And now Highland Park settles in.
Coach, I got to comment that ESD obviously is a team on a mission. They've played a very tough schedule. They've done really well. Obviously, they came in second place last year, and they've improved. They have great additions to their team as well. I think they obviously don't want to fail on this opportunity, but I think they're going to come out and play really confident and angry.
As they would say in Kill Bill, unfinished business.
Sure.
For the Eagles with a quality clear there and a timeout.
I believe they came in second place in 2010 was Colin Shakespeare. That's right.
So just like that. That's my first just like that of the game, so I feel pretty good about that. ESD early 2-0 lead on the Scotties. Scotties in the away navies while the Eagles are wearing their whites. It's warming up out there, but it's not too bad for Houston. Got to say that it's nice coastal breeze as we're here in Galveston County. Coach, what have you seen so far in the first quarter?
I think the HP has the dual custom tents, so they win the tent battle.
That's important. They've manufactured some shade opportunities on the far side.
Yeah, I think there's no, any of these Division I Dallas North District teams, every game's a battle. Every team in that division is basically good. So no matter what type of lead ESD can take here, I think these games are always unpredictable.
It's a game of runs. It's definitely a game of runs. Right now, early on, you see HP settling for crease looks. They're kind of forcing it in there, and those are pretty much all or nothing. You either catch and maybe finish, or if you don't catch it, that's usually going to be a turnover. ESD's done a pretty good job of clearing the ball up, but as you said, Coach, it's a game of runs. ESD's gotten out in front early on. Let's see what they have coming out of this timeout.
I wonder if the mother's shaking the noisemakers, can that be considered a workout for the day?
It could. It's a lot of shoulder activity.
Yeah. Deeper.
That's it. That's it. And they're noisy, so that's also positive for the Scotties. Let's see what they're doing here. They're widened out for ESD, moving the ball. Nakai Montgomery behind. He's asking that man to move out, work for the ball. They work it over to Fitz. Fitz to Barry. Barry to P-Crow. Nice little pass down, pick down. Double pick for Loftus.
Didn't seem like he ran off the pick. He could have kind of bounced there to get around the pick to create even more separation, but luckily he drew a flag on that play.
Looks like they're going to call a hold on that, I believe. Alex Fronterhouse, one of the key players missing from today's activity, number 13, UNC-bound Case Carpenter. Case Carpenter injured himself during the Capel game. Just want to say deepest condolences and want him to feel better, get back on the field. He's a tremendous player, dominant player, and he's definitely missed by these Scotties. But to their credit, the Scotties have fought through injuries all year and continue to just play at such a high level. Right now we got ESD on man up. Highland Park excited about pressing out. ESD needs to convert on early opportunities like this.
I just think the depth of these Division I teams, as opposed to the D2s that we already saw, when you have one or two guys that you rely on, when you have an injury as a Division I team like Highland Park, you can bounce back a lot quicker because you're used to playing team lacrosse. You're used to doing the right things. You're used to having people around you that you rely on. So I think, you got to give Highland Park credit for just not skipping a beat.
They have had injuries to Mankey. He's been playing a little injured all year. Christopher Marlowe, senior face-off guy. Christopher Buell. Here's Kevin Ken carrying down the alley, just possessed there by Matthew Center. Nice play there by the sophomore. Center up to Huggins. Huggins moves the ball to Loftus.
They move it quick, that's for sure.
And Cole Ogden puts the ball on the ground right there against Loftus.
Looks like Highland Park had 7 guys in the field. Don't see a flag. I hear a whistle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 guys around the field.
You can't do that. That's a penalty. That's a tough break right there. Thomas Wood, hero,
enters the arena.
That's right. Texas lacrosse legend Thomas Wood in the house at T. Wooder 2. Right now, the rest are conferencing, trying to figure it out. But at the end of the first quarter, 2-0. Coach, what are your initial thoughts on this game?
I think that the teams are just getting settled in here. They did a good job possessing, although it was a little bit sloppy. I think it's going to clean up here. But like we saw, in games in the past, the middle chunk of the game to me sometimes is more important than the beginning and the end. If you can dominate a second or third quarter, the game's almost over. Teams kind of shut it down. But I don't think that's going to happen. I think we're going to see some players try to take over a little more, which may hurt or help their teams. But other than that, yeah, just excited that the score is so close. But I think Highland Park needs to get on the board here to, settle in.
The Scots, with tons of offensive firepower, early on they've been looking inside. We'll see if they kind of settle in. You will see Kevin Ken, Hugo Reisenbichler score. on the day. They are tremendous shooters, especially from distance. Grayson Miller, he's also talented. Right now, this face-off battle should be interesting. Rooney versus number 20, I believe. Cam Kimsey. Cam Kimsey's done a good job this year. So is Rooney. Not your traditional dominant Fogos, but here's big Ben Kelly. Ben Kelly, one of the better LSMs, but just turns the ball over there unnecessarily. They probably would have had transition there as well.
Ben Kelly had a tremendous weekend at this event last year up in Plano. Unfortunately, the ESD didn't come away with the victory, but he definitely stood out.
Ben Kelly is a rangy LSM difference maker. Would have liked to have seen him take care of the ball, maybe choke up on that pass, move his feet. Here's Gab Gonsalves applying some pressure at X on number 30, Harrison Scott.
Gab has great feet and does a good job of sliding and mirroring his offensive player.
And that's a look inside again, right there. They dodge, draw the slide, move the ball inside. Ben Kelly applies a little pressure on that pass through X, and they're dispossessed. That's Ben Kelly making an extra effort to make up for that turnover that he had just a little bit ago.
When you try to force the crease from up top, it looks open, but at the last second, that slide is usually there, especially against a good team, and the ball usually gets dispossessed because attackmen don't see it coming.
That's tough right there. And here's Mankey. Mankey's going to get a shooting opportunity on this one. He's going to dodge right down the alley.
Tough angle there. You could say, Coach, you spotted it at the 40 that he was going to let that one rip, but looked like he waited until a little bit too much.
Right.
Shot across the face of the goal almost.
Right now, Mankey is playing through injuries. Sorry about that. Playing through injuries, definitely a little nicked up. He's done a great job all year on the defensive side of the field. He knows that his offensive opportunities are going to come in transition on those steps. We say, the way I coach it up is we call step call. That means that we want to go at that. Oh, man. Great look right there. They finally were able to actually handle one of those inside passes, but they weren't able to move the goalie, Charlie Sykes, up to the task.
Could have thrown his hands, had a lot more time than he probably thought he did. Easy to read for the goalie.
Yeah, Preston Crow right there. Gets to a good spot on the goal. Forces the ball, doesn't take care of it. Might have liked to have settled out for a possession right there.
Coach, if you notice in that clear, very easy to clear when your midi can run back to the goalie, get an easy pass, and attack that zone ride that everyone seems to like these days. But it seemed like that was almost like the easiest possible clear that you could have.
Mids need to work back to the ball in the clear, and here's Highland Park with their first timeout here in the second quarter. Let's recap. ESD up 2-0 early on. Nakai Montgomery got it started, and then Preston Crow turned the corner righty for a goal. Highland Park forcing the ball early. Colby Canese up to the task, doing a good job. What are you talking about in the timeout right now, Coach, if you are Highland Park with this possession?
We've got to make better decisions on offense. We've played a lot of defense. It's time for us to not force anything on offense. If we pass the ball 15 to 20 times on offense, that's okay. We don't have to have early offense. The longer we hold the ball, the better our percentage is of getting off a quality shot. On the ESD side, I think they've played a little sloppy as well. They've thrown some clearing passes away, some unforced errors on offense, but I think you just need to continue to be aggressive. I think they can get their players open, but they just need to continue to, not second guess their system.
Right there, when Preston Crow's bringing the ball down, are you telling him to pull the ball out and possess, or are you telling him to go ahead and step at it and go to the rack?
I don't think there's you can't give him a definitive answer, because you don't want a player to be robotic as well. So you have to make sure they know the situation and be mindful of the amount of defense we played previous to that offensive possession.
Apparently there's some technical difficulties, a little choppy right now. We'll get it all fixed up here in a second. Here's Carter McDade looking inside again.
Another through pass that was a little dangerous. It seems like their last 2 looks have been good, but they've not left their attackman with enough time to finish. It's almost he's surprised that they even throw it. I think they need to get better looks than, a through ball through the entire defense.
That's definitely a part of their strategy, is that inside look, and right now it's not necessarily panning out for him. Here's Hitzelberger for Highland Park. He was injured for a portion of this season. Richie Loftus carrying the ball. Loftus to Montgomery. They've got just like that. Hitzelberger wanted to get off, but he's now on the field, guarded by Preston Crow. Looks like there's a short stick still shutting Romano off. Biggest compliment you can be paid, but it can definitely kind of take you out of your game. Romano likes to be active. If you're being short sticked, a couple of things you can do are set picks because they can't switch. And then you can also put yourself in position to have your man be the slide guy because they can't slide from you. There's Preston Crow getting underneath, getting dispossessed. Now here's Highland Park with a fast break. Fast break, I'm holding. I'm letting Cole Ogden take that shot.
All day. They almost got possession back as well.
They may have missed that call. Right there, Preston Crow on the offensive side of the field got to a good spot. Once you run by the guy, you got to know that he's behind you. Have to have a plan for getting the shot off in that position. Can't be surprised by the spot that you're at on the field. Highland Park settling into another offensive possession. Their middies in this. Grayson Miller turning the corner, but Charlie Sykes up to the task again.
Not sure if that was a great save or a bad shot, as the goalie didn't really even have to move. They shot it right into his stick. Good job, good space. They attacked the GLE and they got to a good area, but just can't shoot it right into his stick.
Richie Loftus doing a good job working for the ball. ESD so far don't want to jinx them because the jinx is alive, but they've been doing a pretty solid job of clearing the ball the first time. Here's Redman, Matthew Reddish, carrying with pressure. Remy Kell all over him.
Reddish off to Indiana, I believe, next year.
A Hoosier.
Following his brother's footsteps, who's now an assistant coach for the Indiana club team.
Do you know how the Hoosier nickname started?
No, but I think you're going to tell us.
Who's your mom? Who's your dad? Who's your sister? Who's your brother? Hoosier. That's it. Tidbits of knowledge here. Here's Richie Loftus. Richie Loftus has had a tough time so far on Cole Ogden. Cole Ogden doing a good job. They're sending the double right now. Loftus kind of being taken out of his game. They're sending the double on the inside roll. He's got to carry, bounce, drag a little bit longer. Middies aren't locked up, so this will be an easy clear. ESD doing a good job defensively. Highland Park, if they could grind out some better offensive opportunities, ESD's only up 2-0 in this game early on. Looks like they're taking Hugo Reisenbichler out of the game. Romano here on Kevin Ken. Ken with the alley dodge. Moves it up top. Sykes with another save.
He had another pass to make as well, as he had a teammate on the backside wide open. And Highland Park fails to capitalize again. Here's Romano.
And there's Romano trying to get into the game. He has been held out. They're short stick shutting him off this game right now, so it's kind of taking him out of the game.
Say that 10 times fast.
Short stick shutting him off, short stick shutting him off, short stick shutting him off. And I'll stop before I say something terrible. Will Stroud with the ball. Talented lefty sophomore. The crowd is starting to fill up here. We are at the THSLL. Oh, here we go. Little break. Asher Wabrick right back to Will Stroud. It's going to sit. Won't skate. Looks like we've got Indiana Lacrosse dialed in. Oh, man, that was a good take. Great save.
Still haven't seen a lot of change in plane of the shots so far here from either team. They're getting good looks on the cage, just not unable to finish.
Got to move the goalie. Here's Mankey with that dodge down the alley. He's dispossessed. Gab Gonsalves with a nice little play. Winston Guillory looking to push a little transition. If I'm here, I'm going to kind of settle this one out. All right? I want to possess. We're up by 2. Here's Jack Barry initiating from X, carrying on Crow. Looks to turn the corner. Here's the double.
Great double. Still a 50-50 ball. No one coming to help. Off on White. Going back to Highland Park.
Right now, if you notice, ESD on offense, they are going a lot of inside rolls happening. And they're being dispossessed time and time again. Got to carry. Got to carry all the way up to 8-8. Try and bounce. Draw the slide. Extend the double and the recovery. And there's HP. They got away with it. Well, no, they're on sides. HP settles into another offensive possession. 3 minutes. ESD not doing a great job of taking care of the ball. But Highland Park not able to finish early on. Here's Carter McDade. Asher Wabrick with some pretty good defense. Here's Hugo Reisenbichler. Center on him. Matthew Center, talented sophomore. Rangy righty. They throw some pressure on the ball. Gab Gonsalves at X. They slide from the near man. Step down opportunity for Hitzelberger. Gab now on Hitzelberger. Looks to dispossess. This is a matchup right here. Guillory on Grayson Miller. They do a bad job communicating. Give a step down for Reisenbichler. Soaked by the near man. That's Foster Huggins. Huggins all over Reisenbichler. Looks to throw the ball. Keeps it in. Timeout, Highland Park.
Highland Park definitely looks a bit rushed out there. I think they're getting chased around the field, and it seems like they're constantly just trying to get away from the defenders as opposed to applying the pressure to the defenders.
One way to apply pressure to a defender, we would tell you to lean on them, right? Lower your shoulder, lean on the man, apply that pressure, and now you're not running away. You're not a target. You're leaning on them. Lean on them. Stickstar Lacrosse, wide world of Stickstar Lax Productions. We're here at the THSLL State Championships. First D1 semifinal up right now. ESD up 2-0 on Highland Park. Pretty unbelievable venue. Feel great. Looking good. Feeling good. The THSLO D2 semifinals were earlier today. Coach, what do we see there?
First game, Keller and McKinney. Keller came out to a big lead right off the gate. McKinney fought back with their backups in the second half, but ultimately Keller and their swarming team of ground ball hawks took them to the second round. Flower Mound and Green Hill started out really well. A lot of back and forth lacrosse, but I just think Green Hill's age and their lack of depth may have burned them out in the second half. And Flower Mound, the defending champions, will be back in the finals tomorrow here in Friendswood.
Playoff action, second season. Stickstar Productions, unprecedented coverage of the THSLO playoffs. It started with Southlake and St. Mark's, and now we're here in a little place we like to call Friendswood. Gab Gonsalves on ball, running after number 30 senior Harrison Scott. Scott moves the ball to McDade. McDade over the top to Kevin Ken. Little pick action. Got a wide open Grayson Miller. Kevin Ken rolls back. Soaker. Nothing there. Charlie Sykes was up top, ready for it. 2 minutes left here in the second quarter. First half, whatever you want to call it. Carter McDade over the top. Guarded by Rooney. Ken guarded by Aronowitz. This is the matchup. This is where you got to go. Aronowitz playing some pretty good defense, getting a nice jam there with his hands. Kevin King continues to carry, moves the ball down the alley to Reisenbichler, who, oh my. That was a big-time goal.
It's kind of awkward, isn't it, when you score a goal and a goalie doesn't even know it's in for a good 3 or 4 seconds. That was a great move through pressure, weaving his way through the slide. Highland Park finally connects with only a minute 36 remaining until halftime. But they've played considerably decent defense, so it's only a 1-goal game.
That was a big players make big plays in big games type of play. Here's Rooney winning the faceoff.
Great save by Colby Knies there.
Massive save. Loftus and Barry haven't gotten on track yet. And now here's Highland Park with the ball. Alexander, possession time. Right now, ESD's been leading the entire game. Loftus, not really doing much right now. Turned the ball over several times. Barry has had a tough time. Romano being shut off. Montgomery has been explosive. Here's Christopher Buell. He's been injured for a majority of the season with a collarbone injury. He's back in for the first time since before these two teams played. Aronowitz applying a little pressure. Here's McDade, guarded by Guillory. ESD's ready to go. They're inside out. They move the ball to the backside. Here's Hugo Reisenbichler with Ben Kelly on him. Dodges to the left. Moves the ball to Ken. Ken gets his feet set. The goalie would have chased there. Might have had the ball. 16 seconds left. ESD's going to want to play tight. Ball moves to McDade. Guarded by Guillory. McDade with the through pass. Good look.
No one knows where the ball is. It's on the feet of the goalie. ESD will clear with 4.5.
And that just happened. 2-1 barn burner here at the THSLL D1 semifinals. Coach, give us your thoughts and we'll take a quick break.
Yeah, I thought it was honestly a bit sloppy there in the first half. Both teams putting the ball on the ground a little too much. I think the second half they'll tighten up they'll tighten up their O&D and come back and play a little bit more of a disciplined game, because obviously the stakes get higher and you start to get a little more mental there in the second half. But overall, I thought it was a good half, but I'd like to see a little more crisp offense in the next half.
We'll see what adjustments these coaches make, and we will bring you more live action from Friendswood here in just a little bit.